Grainfield.
Yep.
Home of the Thunderhawks. We'll get there eventually. Let's run down some starters real quick as we get them here. A 6-foot sophomore, number 5, Gavin Tallheim, is right there in front of us. Jumping point was Hammond. Owen Hammond, a 6-foot sophomore. As well out there, we have Caden Lowry, a 6'1" junior. He wears number 12. Number 25 is a 5'11" senior, Brody Preston. And Maverick Rogers gets the start here tonight. Maverick is a 5'7" sophomore. That's the Northern Valley starters. When you flip it over and let's look at the Thunderhawks, how they open this contest. Number 4 is Luke Zar. He is a sophomore. He stands 6 foot tall, wears number 4. Number 12, Brayton Getz, is a 5'10" freshman, number 12. Number 21, Austin Bland, is a 5'10" freshman. Number 13, Jude Lager, is a 5'9" freshman. And who am I missing out there? Number 11, Dighton Hurl, is a 6-foot freshman. This freshman team, it's 4 freshmen and 1 sophomore with Zur in there. Was awful fun to watch. I've been able to watch them in the junior high circuit as they continue to get older. This is the core that will move them forward. And I know we might talk about it a little bit throughout the broadcast, Aim, but this team won the league as 8th graders last year. I believe they beat Weskin in the finals, but it was a tough game one way or the other. A 3-pointer away is no good. Northern Valley cleans up on the backside of it.
Yeah, and that's where these JV games are so important because there's a lot of freshmen out there, and they're probably going to see some of these freshmen are going to see some quality minutes in the varsity action as well. But if you're Coach Bixman, you're excited to have this group up here. You talked about this core being successful at the 8th grade level, but kind of getting up to the speed of freshmen. As a freshman year, getting up to the speed of high school ball, it takes a little bit of time, but once they get that under their belt, they're going to be a good team for a lot of years to come here at Wheatland Grinnell.
And as they work against the Northern Valley group that is probably one of the more experienced junior varsity teams in our league, because they will start 1 freshman and a junior and 3 sophomores here, but you're going to also maybe see some playing time, maybe not. I'm looking down on the bench who's suited here for Coach Ross Cole, the assistant coach in his first year at Northern Valley. Well, I should say back in his first year, right?
First year coaching here in the Valley, though, and it's been a pretty good season for the junior varsity squad. You said he's got a lot of experience, so that helps a new coach a lot because you've got a lot of players who are used to that speed that we were talking about, kind of the thing that maybe the Hawks don't have in their advantage is they have a lot of youth. But Coach Cole can run a lot of the sets that they're going to do at the varsity side because these guys have been in the system for a couple of years, most of them. And so he's able to do a lot of coaching points and teaching moments and really implement a lot more of the deep sides of basketball with them. And they can use it here in the JV games as well.
Checking in for the Huskies is a nice sign is the freshman Connor David. Gets in. He's had some knee troubles and some leg troubles all the way from football, and I think this is his first minutes of the season. Looks like a player ready to go out there as Gavin swipes another steal and puts another 2 points on the board.
Yeah, another good fresh set of legs and a good athlete, Connor David. We've seen his brother. He's plays football, Peyton David. He's not out here for the basketball season, but those David boys, they're pretty fast. When they get comfortable out there, he'll put in some solid minutes for years to come as well.
Just like to see him out there getting to finally play. His injuries are a bugaboo, and you don't want him around. As he'll go over the top of this pick and roll here. Now back to Hammond. Back door, they'll catch it again. Brody Preston to the rim and scores it. Senior taking a freshman to school.
Yep. Supporting the Northern Valley Huskies athletically and academically.
End of the game for the Huskies. Clay Van Patten, the sophomore out there. Free shot in the corner is good. The three-pointer will rain in there for number 12, Gets his team back in the right direction as Northern Valley had started to take an absolute control of this one. Van Patten with it now, and now it's going to be stolen. This is Brody Getz out in front of everybody. The Getz brothers making quick 5 points, and now we're into a one-possession game, Aim.
Yeah, nice signs of life outside of the break there for the Thunderhawks, getting something rolling back within one possession. Just missing the backdoor cut there. I like the idea, but that is a tough angle to hit that pass. They live to fight another day.
And now Cole is going to take a 30-second timeout, so that'll give us more time again. We'll be back. In the Thunderhawk nest, maybe? Maybe. I don't know. Nice pick and roll. Hammond and Tallheim working in the action. Now the shot is blocked by Spencer Beckman, and Northern Valley will reset with Brody. Pick and roll, try it again, and here comes Beckman with a steal.
You like that tighter camera angle, or is that too close?
Well, no, I like it. Bring it in. Let's try things out before we get here to the varsity action. Getz with a nice move on the outside, freed himself, but he didn't make the layup. Try one more in. Now Brody Preston will settle for a long jump shot. One and done. Bland with the rebound, and here comes Spencer with it. Looking to either take the lead with a three-pointer or tie this game with one in the lane. Northern Valley in the man-to-man. Spencer goes all the way to the rim and scores and ties this game.
Really nice move there from Beckman, putting the ball on the floor and knowing that he had his defender against him, back on their heels. Just beat him to the basket on that one. That's a good move.
Certainly was. Northern Valley's kind of gone stale on the offensive end. Floating into the middle was Gavin. Thought he maybe even got away with a walk, but couldn't make it. Now into the corner it goes. Nice pull-up, mid-range jump shot, just long. Coach Cole's calling out his set.
Ball's kind of sticking in the hands a little more than the Huskies typically like for it to. But they get a nice play right there off of the on-ball screen from Van Patten. That was Hammond getting his first bucket of the evening. Bland with the fadeaway jumper.
In-out move, creating space, and Hammond thought he had a block coming. Nice move inside and a
charge is called. That was Beckman that drew the charge. I thought he was pretty deep, but they don't have the.
There is no circle, man.
The circle there, so his feet were set. It's
It
just
might
all
have been
about
there.
where you think he was on that one.
Maverick Rogers and now Aiden Keith into the game for the Northern Valley Huskies. Bland with it. Another three-pointer on the way by Getz, and he'll put it in. 14-11. Kind of shell-shocking Northern Valley here. This JV team for Northern Valley has had a pretty good record so far on the year. Back to Tallheim it goes. Mid-range jumper is short, but an offensive board by Brody. Now a bad pass out in front. Has it blocked by Brody. Northern Valley in transition, way too easy.
And that transition bucket might have been what the Huskies needed to get a little bit more life in their offense, as they've just looked a little bit flat in this quarter of action, outside of scoring in the very first 5 seconds of the game.
Getz with a nice drive and penetration, kicks back to Bland for another jumper. He's hit two of them from that exact spot.
Might want to put a hand in his face a little bit more. He's doing his Dirk Nowitzki impression right there.
Hawks put up 16 in the quarter. They lead by 3. Hammond gets by his defender all the way to the rim. No whistle, a lot of contact on the ground. And the Hawks come away with it. They'll get one shot at it, but Hammond stuck his finger in there and stole it.
I do love to see the aggressive play from Hammond.
Pull-up jumper, no good. Gavin with an offensive board. He'll put it up, no good. And that will take us to quarter. Northern Valley is going to be trailing in this one as the Hawks came back in the second half of that first quarter. Now
but one more
in a
quarter of action.
two-quarter game. So we've got 8 minutes to figure out who's going to come away with this victory. And a nice set coming out of the break as they get the ball to hurl on the interior, nobody there, and they'll take a 5-point lead.
And that's exactly how you want to start a quarter right there, is you draw the set piece up and you execute it perfectly.
Brody left that one short, and now into the game, Riley Tuttle, a 5'10 freshman, wearing number 2 out there. Pretty skilled player. He'll take it all the way to the rim and score.
Yeah, he's got good speed while he's handling the ball. He's going to be putting in some solid minutes in that varsity game as well later this evening.
I can guarantee that. Gavin trying to make something happen. We'll just let a 3 rip.
Yeah, it just feels really forced right now for the Huskies. They need to settle into an offense and see if they can get a better look than this, because they've gotten a couple here this evening, but the majority of their shots have just been a little short, maybe a little lethargic, so they just really need to find something with a really good look here.
Tuttle, I love that. Tuttle and Bixman talking back and forth. He's going, you got to do better than that. He's like, I got hammered. There was nothing more I could do with that. Here's Gavin looking to get a set of his own. He'll go by Spencer and flip it up on the rim. No good. Just like you keep saying, Aim, we're just like this tick off here.
Yeah. I mean, and there's a lot of times, a lot of games you'll watch where that shot will go in 9 times out of 10 when Tallheim drives it between 2 defenders, but it's not falling right now, so they need to go find something. And, you know, I'm sure Coach Cole at the next break will give them something to try to find an easy look.
Spencer Beckman with it now, gets it back to Tuttle up top. We'll look at a 3 and put it in. That boy is dripping in confidence.
Yeah, he looks like he's just ready for action the rest of the night. He didn't play any of that first quarter of this game, but it looks like he's been out there shooting shot after shot because it is coming with ease.
And another turnover here from Northern Valley, and looky. The Hawks are out to a 10-point lead in this one. And Tuttle is rolling. Finds Spencer open in the corner. Bang! Talk about hitting on all cylinders. They have found the range.
The whole team right now is shooting lights out.
Hammond now just has to hand the ball off to Brody. Trying to create. Gets it back to Gavin. Pushes his way inside to the interior, and a foul will be called. And I think they'll get it on the floor. No?
I'm going to say they're getting
we'll
2
see.
shots.
We're going to shoot 2. Gavin will go to the line. Why don't you try and suck that in just a little bit more. See how tight we can get it here. Yeah, let's try there. One and 2 are both good for Gavin. Problem is Gavin's only got about 5 for the game, and Tuttle just blew by him for another bucket.
Yeah, there's no defense being played on Tuttle right now. He's able to do whatever he wants in this quarter against the Huskies.
I believe he's got 7 or 9 points here just in this quarter. What's it say? 7. There it is. Inside, ball stripped away by the Hawks one more time. Tuttle with it. Going over a high ball screen, pop, and a 3 on the way. No good. As hot as he's been, there's no problem with that shot. Now on the outside, they'll get it to Hurl, and a blocking foul will be called against the Huskies. They got some work to do. Down 13 with 4:40 to go. Clay Van Patten going to check in. Lowry to check out. Now Preston has, David has gone the assignment for Tuttle. Getz will fire a 3, and it does everything but go in. Hammond likes a 3 of his, no good. Another offensive rebound by Gavin, and he is struggling from the field.
Yeah. Yep, it's hard to find a look that's falling right now, and you can just tell it's taking its toll on these Huskies players right now, and they look defeated even though there's 4 minutes left, so hopefully they can get some life. If there's a JV team out there that could come back from 15 points and still make this a ball game, it is this seasoned Huskies team. But we'll see if they can get it done.
Finally put a bucket in, as now they're only trailing by 13.
But I do think that this comeback, if they wanted to do anything in this game, it has to actually start on the defensive side, because in this quarter, you know, the Thunderhawks have been pretty prolific at scoring, and it starts with Tuttle, but it's been a lot of players out there. He misses on that one, but that was a lot better defense face guarding him. Full timeout from Coach Cole, and I think that's a good timeout right there to rally the troops and see if they can get something done.
Because they got to put some points up, and they got to get some stops.
Yeah, it feels like a bigger hill to climb than it probably is. Down 13 right now. They have the scores, and they can definitely put up the points. But it really has to start on the defensive side. You can't let the Thunderhawks just have their way on the offensive end of the court like they have in the majority of this quarter.
It's a first mistake by Tuttle all game long, as he probably had a pass that he shouldn't have passed. And now a foul on Tuttle. That's 2 in a row. Will put Hammond to the line. Two things you don't want to do to a team that's trailing: turn them the ball over and foul them.
Yeah, you're giving them attempts at cutting into this lead without running any time off the clock. And right now the clock is the worst enemy for the Huskies in this one, as they're down under 3 minutes. So they love this. I love the aggression, taking it to the hoop. They haven't been calling a bunch down there, but ultimately if you just keep going at it, you're going to get those calls after a while.
You keep battling. Nice skip pass there, and holy cow, Gavin.
Absolute elevation from Gavin Tallheim, going over the top of the ball shooter there and knocking that ball out of bounds. Great recovery from him.
I've got to get this replay button fixed. I'm sorry, Gavin. No time like the present,
the
buddy.
2-minute replay button?
Yeah, look, it feels kind of like it's set for football at the moment. And I was trying to hesitate on it some, too. Gets. Third shot, 3 for 3 for Mr. Bland.
He's been lethal from that short corner right there.
He can't miss from over there. And that might be enough. I don't know that Northern Valley can score enough points to even get back in this one, as Bland is kind of gimpy out on an ankle right now. Don't matter. Get him the ball. Doesn't even feel like he's going to miss. As Bixman shouts out what he wants and where he wants that set to happen, Hammond needs to be all over him at this point. They're not calling fouls. You got to just go.
One there. You got to play really aggressive.
Tough fall-away shot's going to end up short and into Hammond's hands.
But a lot of time came off the clock on that possession right there.
Hammond will float it up, leave it short. Gets with a defensive clear of the rebound. Will flip it over to Tuttle, and he'll say, "Settle down, boys. We're going to milk this cow till we get the victory."
Yeah, a lot of times it's hard to see that in a freshman in a game like this, where you kind of feel the pressure rising and the intensity in the game from one side. You want to respond the same way, but they do a really nice job slowing things down, finding someone out of place, and making the Huskies play ultimately right there.
That was a spectacular pass by Tuttle. To the rim, we're going to shoot 2. Brody goes to the line. Aiden Keith will check in, as well as Luke Zur, for the Hawks. As a hot-handed Bland goes over to the bench on a gimpy ankle. Somebody find him an ice bucket. 2 for 2 from the stripe. Brody Preston. Give him 5 for the night. They do get the ball forward here. Got away with a double dribble, but he'll score it anyway. Preston's three on the way, no good. Offensive rebound, Aiden Keith put it up, no good. It had it blocked by Tuttle.
Tuttle's been everywhere in this quarter.
Been kind of fun to watch.
He has been fun to watch. Hopefully he can bring that same level of basketball prowess to the next game to come later this evening as the varsity boys.
Getz went around 2 screens and scored that one, and his teammates went nuts. I mean, they perfectly executed play as he went around the screens. With 7.8 to go, this game is over, but Hammond still pestering Tuttle over there. Now thrown in Maverick with a nice steal.
Yeah, not very often are we talking about this JV boys team losing, let alone losing by double digits, 18 points here. So you got to really tip your cap to
Heck
the
of an
Thunderhawks
offensive performance from the Hawks.
It wasn't just one guy just lighting it up either. They were running a lot of good sets, and they had contribution from everyone out there.
So what did they have at the break? They had 16?
I think they had 16, and I think Northern Valley had 13.
So heck of a second quarter. We'll be here all night with Open Spaces Sports, but this is going to conclude the broadcast of the junior varsity boys.